welcome to an emergency breaking news episode of View from Luffield. You may have seen breaking news from Formula One that Christian Horner has been relieved of his duties as Red Bull CEO and team principal with immediate effect. Laurent Mekies will come in to replace him as CEO, and it'll be Alan Permain who will come in to replace him as team principal for obviously the Formula One team. Not surprised. I think when you consider everything that's happened with regards to Christian Horner's, let's call it actions, his behaviour, if you want, for the last sort of 12 to 18 months. Obviously, there was the incredible scandal, which he was cleared of, officially, of course, by Red Bull. But, I mean, obviously, there must have been something in it. You've got to consider that factor. You've got to consider that, realistically, the performance from the team through 2025, even going back to losing the Constructors' Championship to McLaren in 2024, it's not great reading, obviously, from their point of view. Still got the drivers, of course, but you know they're there to compete for both trophies, as they have done for the previous 3 years prior to that. So not brilliant from that. You also consider what we broke, or the rumours that we discussed on Saturday with regards to Sergio Perez's comments. In regards to Christian Horner alleging to have said that he would have only had one car if he could, if it wasn't for the regulations. You consider just that, the sacking of Liam Lawson, not really giving him a chance, the bad reputation. Basically, Red Bull's name, in regards to Formula One at least, is mud at the moment. Red Bull have scored less points than Sauber in the last 3 or 4 races. Yeah, we've discussed at length Sauber's difficulties and their concentrations on obviously being Audi in 2026, and the fact that they're outscoring Red Bull is poor. So yeah, Sergio Perez's comments will be a contributing factor, whether or not that's true, as to what he said. But I can't see it as just a coincidence that that Sergio Perez made them comments, and within a week of them being made public, Christian Horner's lost his job. You put on top the flirting that Max Verstappen has had with Mercedes, and obviously the clause in Max's contract that if Red Bull are lower than third in the Constructors, I think, that he's allowed to walk away. I mean, if it's bad at the moment for Red Bull, they were heading to a place where it was going to get worse. The curse of the second driver, that's been ever present since Christian Horner took over in 2005. So everything was leading to the point that Red Bull were going to make a decision. It's one hell of a way to kick off silly season in Formula One, because it's a weird one. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised. I'm surprised at the timing, because we're not in the summer break yet. Obviously, there is a big gap between Silverstone and Spa, but I'm surprised at the timing. But is this a way to try and keep Max Verstappen? We obviously know the issues in the relationship between Max's dad Jos and Christian Horner after the whole sexting scandal. So is this a way to keep Max at the end of the season? I feel like that's improved now. I was personally on the side that I thought he'd go to Mercedes. I now think he'll stay at Red Bull, personally. I think now that Christian Horner's gone, I think Max will stay. It's just been poor. You think that the heights from which Red Bull were at under Christian Horner's leadership, you think Jonathan Wheatley's left them to go to take over the Audi project in 2026. You think, obviously, Adrian Newey's gone, and that's a huge one to lose someone like Adrian Newey, who I might have called a bad word on Sunday, by the way. I'll tell you that story in a minute. So I think it's no great surprise that that he's gone. I think the timing's weird. Christian Horner. One thing I will say, because we've been quite critical, and we've made a little bit of a laughing joke at Christian Horner's expense with regards to all the scandal, because why would you not? One thing I will say is Christian Horner's done a magnificent job at Red Bull Racing since he took over in 2005. You think at that point Red Bull were relatively a nobody when they obviously came into they were a nobody when they came into the sport, but he's transformed that team with Adrian Newey, with Jonathan Wheatley, with Helmut Marko, with everybody, of course, but they've transformed that team to one of the biggest in the sport. All the success, you think Vettel's time winning, was it 5 in a row, sorry. Vettel's time of dominance, Max's time of dominance that we've seen recently. Christian Horner's been at the forefront of it all. So one thing I will say, though I think he's done this to himself, and I think he's really gone on a downward spiral recently, and this sacking was coming. I think one thing I will say is Christian Horner's been brilliant for Red Bull. He's been brilliant for the sport. He's made them competitive. He brought a new team into play. It wasn't just your typical Ferraris and and McLarens and stuff, the dominance that we'd seen previously, certainly in 2000 to 2004 with Shuey. So sad to see him going away. I think he was good at his job, but everything that's happened recently is absolutely just spelled towards his downfall. So Christian Horner is out the door at Red Bull. That is the breaking news. I can't say I'm surprised by it with everything that's happened recently. And again, just to stress, Alan Permain comes in as team principal. Laurent Mekies will replace him as CEO of everything that happens at Red Bull. Going forward, I'm at work at the minute, so that has to be a business sense. Going forward, there's a big rumour going around that Sebastian Vettel will be the man coming in to take over from Christian Horner in the long term. I would guess that I think they'd finish the season with the setup that they've got, Mekies and Permain, personally. But is Seb Vettel ready to be a team principal? I'm not entirely sure. Look, how many races have we seen go into those positions? Obviously, Horner himself is an example of that. So I'd be surprised if Seb Vettel gets it. Keep an eye on that one, though. We'll let you know if we hear anything from our side. But yeah, breaking news, just to reiterate, Christian Horner has been relieved of his duties as CEO and team principal of Red Bull Racing. Those replacements, as I mentioned, have come in. The rumour coming out of it is Seb as a replacement. So let us know in the comments what you think. Are you surprised by Christian Horner's dismissal? Are you bothered? Is it a good thing for Red Bull? I actually think it is a good thing. Personally, I think they were starting to go backwards. He was losing grip of it all, and their performances back end of 24 and start of 25 just haven't been worthy of where they should be. So let us know in the comments your thoughts, and we'll see you again at the weekend. So cheers, guys.